humongous hams. All right, guys, today we're gonna do a workout. We're gonna call it humongous hams. Just because it's gonna be basically the essential hamstring movements to cover all bases. I just went to the loo and I was sitting on the bog and I was thinking to myself, how should we put this today? And I thought to myself, well, what I'll do is I'll cover basically all the hamstring exercises I think are necessary for you in order to get the best out of your hamstrings from a physical standpoint, you know, bodybuilding wise on stage for them to look gigantic. A little shout as well while we're here. Shed flannels have arrived. These are now in stock, but these are an in-store purchase only. There is no online purchase with this. So if you do want these, you have to get down. So there's an excuse to come down for the weekend and check out the gym. Size is large to 5XL to cater for the big boys and girls. Large is quite small, so that's for anyone that likes the smaller sizing as well. So yeah, we're gonna do hamstrings today, and I'm gonna just talk through it as we go and try and prioritize basically making sure we hit the hamstrings from every kind of appropriate angle as such. So whether it be, you know, curling, you know, hip hinging, and anything in between. So let's get in the gym, let's do some hamstrings, and like I say, I'll waffle on as we go and have some fun. All right, we're gonna start with some prone hamstring curl, lying hamstring curl. Again, I'll explain why I use this machine. Personally, I like this one because it's not on a fixed, it's hard to explain. If we come here, actually, I'll show you. So this is obviously freely movable and on a spin. So I just personally find that a much more comfortable way to curl. Obviously the Prime is a really good piece of kit, but me personally, I like when I curl for this to adjust with my leg rather than my legs feel really fixed to it. Why prone curl first? No particular reason. You could come in and do a seated hamstring curl first. You could come in and do a standing hamstring curl first. It doesn't really matter. I just like this one when I'm fresh because I quite like going heavy on here and treating this more as my kind of primary hamstring movement to kickstart the day. Also because I find our seated hamstring curl isn't as heavy. So if I do that second or third, a little bit of pre-exhaustion means that it then hits more effectively because it's an easier hamstring curl, technically speaking. So put the hard one first when you're fresh, and that way you'll get a little bit more out of it. Now, my training right now is pretty short, pretty compressed. I've explained on previous videos that I'm doing just one set of rest pause per an exercise. And the only reason I'm doing that is time efficiency, but also I'm basically clearing out now at the minute, so all the gear and everything is kind of low. So my recovery probably isn't quite as good. Doesn't mean you should train like a pansy, but it does mean that there's probably no need for me to do multiple sets. Rest pause with a couple of breaks is like squeezing in 3 sets. You obviously achieve failure on that first round, and instead of letting yourself fully recover by staying close to that failure point and then getting back in and doing a couple more reps, you basically hit failure like 3 times within 1 set. And I think that's a really effective way of training personally. So that's just my preference. All right, guys, remember, if you want to save on anything at ESN, code SHED. If you want to save at GASP, James 15. Again, I still need to change that to SHED. In here right now today, very simple. Obviously a combination of carbohydrates, amino acids, and creatine monohydrate. 10 grams of creatine monohydrate, 30 grams of cyclic dextrin, which is a carb powder, and then 20 grams of essential amino acids in the tropical flavor. So I can definitely recommend the tropical flavor. Obviously, sometimes on the videos I'm going to come from a more educational approach, more, you know, the last session that we had was all out guns blazing, just training, and I love that kind of stuff. That is more me, but I do want to give you value for your time. Obviously, you're spending time on my channel watching stuff, so if I can be a little bit more conscious of helping you and giving you some ideas, then on the odd video I will do that, and this video today is definitely going to be more of that kind of way. It just means that if you can take a little bit of something from a short part of this video, it makes more sense. So, you know, you might hear one thing in this video today that just switches the switch in your head and makes you think, oh, okay, that's a good idea. And that's great for me. If I can help you, even one person with one thing, then that's the purpose of my content. All right, let's get warm. So this will apply to everything that we do, really. Obviously, when you're warming up, you want to get a good feel for the movement. and that takes doing a certain amount of reps. If your repetitions are very low from the offset, you probably won't feel the exercise as well as you should. So on my lighter warm-ups, I'll definitely do a higher rep setting than, say, the later warm-ups. Obviously, as we progress up the stack towards our working weight, I'll reduce the repetitions because I've already got a feeling and understanding for the movement. And that's just to preserve some energy for the working set. So 15 reps there at a lightweight, I'll probably reduce to 10, I might reduce to 5, and I might reduce to 3, and then I'll do my working set. You don't have to do that again, there's no one way set in stone, but it's just a good idea if you want to be able to have a lot of effort and energy saved for that final, well, for the set that you want to really apply yourself to. Oh, we got the seated calf raise coming in. Might as well check this out. So we got the, my favorite seated calf raise is the hammer strength. We had that upholstered. I managed to get it for a steal online. We'll actually use that today. Just going to take out one of the standard pieces that we got just to get the gym open that isn't as good as this piece, and then use it later. Cheers, Char. If you need a hand with anything, just let me know, yeah? You must have done the upholstery as well. It's been upholstered.
I did that.
Okay, did you put it back on?
I left him in there for Christmas.
Oh, okay, they put them back on. So it's done. Sweet. I wasn't sure. Anyway, it's ready, so switching it around.
Upholstery. Did I do a good job?
Yeah, I said, that's what I said, but I didn't expect it to be put on. Oh, I was flexing now. Anyway, this is Yannicka. Like, if you're new to the channel, Yannicka is my partner. She's operations manager for the gym, so any emails, any Instagram to the DM, it's funny, it all goes to her. So when you DM and you're like, hello mate, and you think it's me, it's actually Yannicka. Half the time I might see the message because Yannicka and I will obviously look at it. But yeah, Yannicka deals with everything on that side. She's very formal, she's very appropriate, she does things exactly how me and Jordan wish her to do it. So there is no, you know, super friendliness because it is a business, so everything has to be done with procedure. Obviously when you're in the gym and we're in here and we're talking, everything's nice and chill and we do have a laugh. But you know,
and also,
there is a way to approach things, so whether you're filming and you want to book in and whatnot, then it all goes through the correct protocol. That word is so annoying, but yeah.
And also, if I run after you in the gym asking, do you mind cleaning up your weight? Put
them away.
There's a reason I'm asking you.
Yes, she has the authority, so she's not some random straggler. And she's got quite a big back. She looks all right, actually. So, let's just keep warming up. I can definitely recommend the Atlantis range for a lot of different movements. This hamstring curl is one of the most comfortable. If you don't have this hamstring curl, if you have a Cybex hamstring curl, that's always a really good one. Obviously, a lot of people do like the Prime, it's just not my preference. We do have it. We have a Prime multi-use like this, because this is actually a multi-use, it's an extension and a ham curl, which also has the rolling arm. So I would prefer that as well, but I just never use it because I use this one all the time. Again, you make do with what you got, but if you do have a choice, then I'll obviously point out what I think is a good choice. 3, 4, 5, nice. Brilliant. We're getting there now, guys, we're getting there. The approach here is literally, like I said earlier, just attack this till you're failing. Failing is basically when form is out the window. I personally wouldn't push through with very exaggerated, rough-looking reps. I think the point of having a rest pause is that you can still extend that set without getting messy. So the minute that I feel like I can't get it all the way up, that's actually the end of that round. Obviously, I always highlight this. If you have a training partner, I believe it's always beneficial to do forced reps if you can. Obviously, when I'm on my own, it's not an option, so that's why I like the rest pause. You could potentially trade out rest pause for just forced reps if you have a training partner. I think they are the best intensifier that is available to us. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're getting someone to apply the amount of effort that you're not able to apply yourself to finish the rep, that's the closest you can get to maximal effort ever. Because at the end of the day, 95% of strength with a 5% touch is better than 95% energy being expended and you're not achieving the rep. So anything you can do to extend that is a good idea. No real pointers on here. Just be a bit cautious of lower back pump. Some people tend to really strain their lower back. The only thing I can really say is like you try to apply a little bit of tension to the abs even if you are like that, just think that you've got abs a little bit flex, not too loose. You basically don't want to be deadlifted. Now, the amount of rest you have is really just determined by how hard the movement is. For me personally, anything that's like machine-based is a 15-second break. If you're doing a free weight exercise, then 20 to 30 seconds is more appropriate because recovery just takes that a little bit longer. One more round. Whew. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, could have thrown up a few reps, but I don't want to throw, I want to contract. So I just think about filling it all the way from there to there, rather than hoisting it and then lowering it. So that's our set done. One all-out set on the hamstring curl, we can move on. I said to Jordan yesterday, you realise how much you love this gym when you've been away from it. It's just at home, isn't it? It's settling. Coming in, got your routine. I go out the front, I get a drink, take 20 minutes, collect myself, and then just, I know, I love it.
Same as me when I went away a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's a decent gym,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it, but when you get used to this...
Yeah, it's just your place, isn't it, now?
It's another level.
Yeah, it's your place, man. So, did you have a good time, though?
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
Good refresh, really.
Yeah, just reset a little bit.
Yeah.
Makes you appreciate what you've got in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. I hear that.
Have a good session.
Oh, yeah. World record in glute bridge.
Yes.
So I actually set more than one record. So we're waiting for the official, how do we word that? So it has to be not officialized, confirmed as such.
Yes,
So,
just waiting to hear back all the good stuff from Guinness World Record, and we'll go from there. But hopefully it'll be within this next week that we'll get the confirmation.
Yes.
It was a good, thorough sort of process with it all. And the event itself went really well, I believe, anyway.
Yeah, man, we had a few of us down here cheering on. All professional, weighing each of the scales, weighing the bar, loading and unloading, showing the whole process, filming the whole thing so you know that there's no cheating going on. He had a shitload of weight on there, over 400 kilos, so he's got strong glutes, put it that way. So yeah, awesome. It's like the first thing that we've had, first person in this gym that's done something super incredible, I suppose. So there'll be plenty more things coming out of the gym, I assume. But it's always nice when you have a gym and someone, chooses to come be here and do it. Could have done it anywhere. So I do appreciate, Adonis being here and being such a fucking great member. And a lot of people get on with Adonis really well because he's a popular guy around here. So appreciate Adonis.
Appreciate you.
No,
thanks for opening up.
No, it's up, man. We're going to move on to the seated prime curl. Obviously, one of the benefits to the prime stuff is that we have the ability to change different profiles of strength, so the curve. Obviously, some people like to make adjustments on where does it feel heavy versus light. And with this, you can change basically you can have it loading front heavy, or end heavy, or neutral. I personally just keep it neutral because it's easy to record what I'm doing because I've just kept it on the same setting. But it's really good if you perhaps find yourself really fatigued and you can't fully contract, but you're still strong in the initial phase. Because obviously your muscles are really strong when they're stretched. It's when you're trying to get a full contraction and really short that things seem to be more of a challenge. So you can basically play with the profiles on here and, customize to suit Me personally, today I'm probably just going to keep it on setting 1. If I was doing multiple sets, I'd definitely consider doing the adjustments. So if you're doing 2 sets, first set you can have it on setting 1, have the weight range the same the whole way through. And then set 2, you can use a similar load so that the weighted end range is really heavy. And then you can have it drop off slightly in the contraction just to facilitate that fatigue, really. Again, this is all a bit, I suppose, sciencey in how I'm coming through, but there is method to that. I'm not pro or anti-science. I think some things make sense, and this is common sense. So they do have their use. I'm not anti at all. A lot of people are like, this is stupid. I don't think it's stupid. But like I say, I use setting 1 just because I'm only doing 1 set with rest pause, so there's no point in adjusting. It's a great piece of kit. Same thing. Just get yourself setted right, really, first and foremost. They're pretty adjustable pieces in regards to like where do you have the stretch start, because you can have this really high up so the stretch is extreme. Seat length is obviously something you have to consider. How long are your thighs? And then also, where does this stabilization pad meet you on your leg? Does it meet in the right place? If it's too far down and it's on top of your knees, that's a bit of an issue. But if it's too high up, it's an issue as well. So this is ideal. You basically want probably about 1 inch above your knees, so it's just pressing down nicely on your femur. Lock it in so much so that it actually lowers the foot pad a little bit, so you know there's tension on, because you want tension the whole way through the movement. You don't want to have no tension. If I had this on a lower setting where it's not as high, and I had this down but my feet are still loose, I wouldn't like that. I always think with every exercise you should be braced to a degree before you even start. I explained this on a previous video I did with Gasp for like deadlift, for example. Before you even pull off the floor, you want to create that tension. And it's the same with anything. Same with leg curl, same with chest press. Get in the machine or get on the weight, create that tension first so that you don't explode out of a loose setting. You want to explode out of a stabilized setting. Again, I know I'm waffling on today, but you know, it's requested. People want to know this stuff. And I'm not Mr. Deep when it comes to training, but I will explain things that I think are common sense in layman's terms to be helpful for those that are new to this, or perhaps feel like they need to make a little bit of a shift in how they approach things. A good thing to think when you're doing this as well is trying to drive the thighs up. So as you curl down, you kind of push the thigh up. So I'm driving that into the pad. Perfect. Again, we're going to just trying to find our weight, and that might take a few rounds. All right, next one will be working. I've almost found the weight. Bodybuilding really is quite a simple process, especially when it's in the gym. It is quite mathematical. Obviously you have to do the math, but you should also apply a passion to that math. Like, we can all come in the gym and do, you know, a set number of reps and sets, but there's also more benefit to come from someone that does sets and reps, but also has passion applied. And that is just simply down to how in it are you, how in the moment are you, how in the connection, how in the bodybuilding are you. You will make good progress if you come in and you're just purely mathematical, but you have to enjoy it to do it long term. If you come in and it doesn't give you anything, any sensation, any feeling, then the likelihood of you wanting to do this still in 10 years is going to be a lot lower than someone that comes in here and you know, switches the passion button on while they're doing the reps. And you know, passion leads to progress, passion leads to extra reps, passion leads to commitment. So like I say, the physical doing of bodybuilding isn't that difficult. What is more difficult is remaining passionate. So try to really focus on that side of bodybuilding as well. Tips for that? God, geez, watch some bodybuilding videos, watch Ronnie Coleman, watch Jay Cutler, listen to what they say, and absorb as much as you can. All right, time to work. 12, nice. Ooh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Woo, let's try and get a few more. 1, 2, 3. Oh, one more. That's gone. All right, one more round. Oh, I see the reps drop, and that's normal. You want that. If you're coming on here and you're doing a rest pause and every single round you get the same reps, you're not working hard enough. Whew. I keep my feet up in this actually just to keep the stretch on the hamstring. So while I'm sitting here, there's a nice stretch going on. It just feels good. All right, if we can get 3 to 5 reps, that'd be great because we just achieved 4 or 5. So just do what you can. Good control, no rush. Yeah, gone. Beautiful. Nice. That's exercise 2 out of the way. So far, lying curl, seated curl. That's all the curls done for today. No need to do any more curling work, in my opinion. What we'll do now is some sort of hip hinge. Good old Texas power bar if you have one. If you don't stress, just use a regular bar. The only reason I like the Texas power bar, and so does Jordan, is it has that little bit of flex. It's very comfortable when you pull off the floor. What you'll notice is that there's a little bit of bend in the initial pull, which just allows you to get like an inch or so more range before you're even off the floor, versus a stiff bar. So the plates basically remain in contact with the floor for a little bit longer, even when you're moving. Just feels better. This is a bit of a tune, isn't it? We're gonna use the Kabuki plates. These are 45 pounders, so they're same as American. They are American. Really good plates, nice for pulling off the floor because they're a little bit wider. What I was just explaining there about using a Texas bar and having contact with the floor for a bit longer. Obviously, the wider the load of the weight you're using, the longer that contact will remain and the more comfortable the pull will be for someone who's trying to, it's not cheating because that's the wrong word, but it is harder to pull a calibrated plate off the floor that takes up less room because of the fact that the load is in your hands sooner. It's just like a little way to create a little bit more tension for longer without the load being its full load. So kind of like how with the Prime, how we have those strength curve adjustments. This is kind of the same because the initial pull will actually be a little bit lighter to about here and then the load will start to progress, versus if you're using calibrated plates, the load is at its heaviest immediately. So it's very heavy from the bottom. It's a very, very small amount, but it's enough to make you feel good or bad. Obviously, I'm not a power lifter, so I want my movements to feel super comfortable, especially if I'm doing reps with them. So that's why I do this and use these plates. Again, same procedure, guys. A little bit of a warm up, do some feeler. Again, what I was just saying about strength curves and stuff, if you really wish to make this a really challenging exercise and apply even more tension to this movement, at the top end, you can actually band as well. So you could band off the racks from this point and this point, so that when you pull off the floor, when you reach, you know, half the way up and the band creates tension, then your load increases there. Some people do that, it's really good for powerlifters, makes their lockout really strong. Obviously myself and Jordan, when we're training to be super strong, because sometimes we do that, Jordan does it a lot more than me, that is a good way to challenge yourself as well. If I had bands today, I would actually use them so that effectively I could go lighter, but hit the tension at the point that I want to hit tension more, which is, like I say, roughly here and to lockout, because your glutes are going to feel a lot more tension at the top if you're using bands, because that's where the weight increases and the tension's a little bit different. So that's a good suggestion for anybody that's trying to really isolate the glute a little bit more than just the hamstring alone. That's something that I probably will start doing because my glutes are the weaker body part in regards to my legs. Quads are strong. Well, they're not now, but they were. I'm more quad dominant, put it that way. Stop where it feels comfortable. Some people can reach all the way to the floor and it feels good. I've got quite a long torso, So I feel like stopping maybe about that much above the floor is a good amount of range for me. I can feel maximal tension on my hamstrings there. Anything else is just rounding at the back, just going to cause issues. I've had friends have issues just from doing that. If you want to get a bulging disc, by all means, feel free to really wrap around. When you're really loading the bar, I don't think it's wise. I don't know who's who in here today because everyone's got the shirt on. I appreciate that.
I feel like Lee Priest.
Yeah, I thought fucking, because don't you look like Jay? All right, we found a band. Fortunately, Jordan's left his bands here, so for instructional purposes and for me to have a little feel, let's do the setup that I was talking about. So, if it feels too strong, what you can always do, go inside the band. So, I don't want as much tension yet as that was giving me, so I'm just going to use one half of the band. Just make sure you got it on somewhere solid, so it doesn't ping you in the arse. So all you want to do is test it first. So when I'm doing that now, the hump motion, my glutes are firing. So nothing changes now apart from that. Perfect. And again, as you're progressing that way, if you wish to progress that, you can use both sides of the band or use a harder band. Obviously different colored bands means different resistance profiles. Well, not resistance profiles, different resistance, sorry. I'd probably recommend this setup for someone who finds it hard to activate their glutes, who just doesn't have a good connection with them. So if you want to really encourage a little bit more of an established connection, just doing a few reps on that before, as I did, it kind of switches it on a little bit. For noobs, this is a bit of helpful tip with straps, because people do ask. I've trained someone the other day, didn't know really how to use straps. So what you want to do, you want to feed them through like an L shape. So if your hand's like that and your thumb's up, they should follow your hand. And then people get really confused when they reverse grip anything. I see people reverse gripping and trying to roll them that way. You always roll a strap towards your hand. No matter what way your hand's going. Okay? So, L shape, roll towards your hand. That's it, that's all you gotta remember. Anything else is fluff. All right, I'm gonna double band now. That's quite a lot more tension, that. It's feeling really good. It's feeling really good. It's good because it raises a little bit of awareness of your glutes and of your stability. Obviously the band's trying to pull you back and you're trying to resist that. And that kind of encourages a little bit more presence in the movement, actually. It feels good. So we'll probably work with this. Again, we'll do a rest pause set. It's the same principle. Obviously this is a free weight exercise, so now this is when I would encourage probably a slightly longer rest in between the pauses. Bodybuilding, weight training, obviously one thing you really want to focus on is load. Load is really, really important. But at the same time, without sacrificing form. I know for me lately, because I haven't been doing certain exercises for a while, my form needs to be re-established. My lines are not very good. That's something that will determine how much you can pull and how much you can't. If your lines are good, you'll pull a lot more weight than if your lines are bad. So again, I'm at that point in my training right now, got to be quite sensible. Got to re-establish those lines, and a lot of that's probably come from where I got this like kind of hip injury and I shied away from certain movements for a while. So there's no ego today. It's just about being sensible. And again, blocking out the noise. I will be pulling more when the time's right. So again, that's another tip that I can give you is don't fucking worry about what no one else is doing. There's some strong fuckers out there, and if you want to be the strongest, my only advice is it will happen, but make sure you don't sacrifice form to get there. Take your time. 9, 10, 11, 12. Take some dizziness. 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. Whew. One more. 3, 4, 5, 6, 19, 20. Whew. Okay. Beautiful. Woo. I'll take that. Having that band, you can definitely feel a lot more around the glute and even like the adductors, obviously as you're pressing through. So I definitely recommend actually just explaining to Liam like how the amount of like effective reps you get there is great, because each time you pick up that barbell again, because you haven't had an extreme amount of rest, the muscles are still pretty worn out, which to some people is a hindrance. They think, oh well, you haven't fully recovered, so your set's not as effective. But I'm after effective reps, not more sets. So you could argue for both sides, but I believe personally that being in that range of fatigue and attacking it again is just as effective as multiple sets. When would you do multiple sets? I don't really know now. Maybe you wouldn't, maybe I wouldn't ever again, I don't know. Unless I'm really fat and I've got to burn more calories and do more work, I don't think I would opt for doing more than 2 sets per exercise. You know, with Jordan, the most I ever really did was like 1 top set, 1 back off. And right now, 1 rest pause. It feels like it kind of equates to the same. The amount of stress that I'm putting on the body, but within that period, just seems to be the same. And your body needs to be taxed. And you've got to make it hard, and I just feel like rest pause is just a great way to do that. So I'm just a massive advocate of rest pause. So that's like the bulk of the hamstrings done now. So what we'll do, we'll move on to the adductor work, because they actually have a massive role in how good your hamstrings look from the side, especially when you're, you know, doing like side leg bodybuilding poses and you're pushing your leg here. It's like the thicker your inner thigh, the more your outer thigh will show, because it pushes it out. So we'll do rest pause on the adductor. And then the only thing I like to finish on the upper leg is I do a variation of leg press. But I do it with more hamstring and glute in mind. So the stance is slightly further away rather than with a low stance. Obviously the lower your stance, the more knee flexion, the more quad. If you kind of take your stance away, so let's say this is my glute, this is my hamstring, this is my quad. If I take that away and start from there and press, you do kind of recruit a little bit more of the glute region up here. I should just point at my arse. It's a lot easier to explain, but I always use the arm as a, because the arm is basically the same as the leg. Quadricep, bicep femoris, glute, in the way that it kind of functions. So that's why I use that as a layman's term way. Some people understand arms more than legs because they're new to training. So that's why I kind of do that. But yeah, so we'll do a press that just has a little bit more focus on creating a bit more stretch between here and here. So more like that rather than like that. I've probably explained this before. I prefer this adductor, just where it sits on my leg feels more comfortable. We obviously have the Prime and we have the Atlantis, so it's your choice. I just feel like these pads are a little bit more suited to my shape. Obviously the only thing with this one, you can't play with that resistance profile versus the Prime you can. Actually, No, the prime you can't play with the resistance profile. No, I think you can. I'll have to check afterwards. I think you can, and you can also add additional weight with a twist. This is obviously just a bog standard. But again, I just find foot positioning and relation to my thigh and leg just feels a bit better for me. My only real pointers with this, sit here, this will be a lot harder, so try to keep your hips back like this. Nice L shape. You don't want to cheat. If you cheat, what will happen is you'd end up doing this. You're basically just putting more of your upper thigh closer to the pad, so you're shortening the amount of tension on the leg. Obviously, if this pad sits higher up here, then the distance from here to the load point is shorter, therefore you're stronger. So it's the same with a ham curl. If I'm hamstring curling and the pad's sitting here and I'm curling, that will be heavier than if the pad's sitting here and I'm curling. So it's the same shit. Keep that in mind. None of this. Trying to make it easy and look impressive on the gram. Sit back, be honest with yourself, be honest with your strength, and attack it. Another nice thing to do here is try and get a pause as well. So as you reach that top point, little isometric hold. Just makes it go a long way, I tell you. – 15 seconds on this one. 2, 3. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. It's gone. One more round. Oh, gone. Woo. Time to move on to the press. So we'll do the Nitram leg press. We used it last time, but we didn't go very heavy on it. So we'll see how today feels. So again, I'm trying to think about where can I feel glute most. So just play around with your angles. Again, with a glute press, you don't actually have to go so deep either. So it might look a bit shallow.
They moved that since we were in there?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright. So where's that going to go?
I'm probably going to take out the assisted glute ham raise because no one really uses it for now. And then obviously we'll put it back when I've got more space. But I'm trying to think, what will people use? First review of the Rogers hip press from Big J. He's like, I like it. Feels good, doesn't it? It's not as unforgiving as the hammer. Because with that Rogers one, you can start from the stretch. Start from the extension. Yeah. So with the Rogers one, because it has the pins, you can start with your legs long and then eccentric and go. The hammer is great, but you have to start on the concentric. And when your legs are already fucked and feeling tight, it's a bit of a no-go sometimes.
The one I hate is the uni independent one.
Yeah, they used to do uni on that and I didn't like it. So that's why I was like, when Jordan said, let's get the Rogers one, I was glad he got that one because that one is the really good one. And it's not too big either. It's quite a nice size. So I'm gonna put that, I'm probably gonna take the assisted glute ham out for now. Because no one really uses it, so we'll...
It's too hard, that's why.
It's hard, it's so fucking hard. So I'll take that out and then bring it back in once we've got all the cardio out. Because it is a good piece to have, I won't get rid of it.
What wall is going down?
It'll be down here at the front. So literally you'll enter from the first dumbbell rack area, because we'll just move them all along. And then like I say, all that cardio, it was gonna be a leg room, but now I've decided to do cardio / accessory room, because it just makes more sense, because it's nice and airy in here. Me and Jordan were saying, Jordan was using the Pit Shark the other day. He went, I like that everything's in here and I can breathe. Yeah. Shutters open, blah, blah, blah. So this one will be now, the gym space will be mainly in here, and then next door we'll have abs, cardiovascular, and then anything else just kind of doesn't really have a home as such. Yeah.
Bits and bobs.
Yeah, bits and bobs room, as we say here. I should put a sign above the door calling it the bits and bobs room. Oh yeah, look, it's in.
What we got?
So we got the old school, the third hammer piece we have in here actually. So we got the hammer press, the hammer hip press, and now we have the hammer seated calf raise. Done a good job on that, sprayed it black. It used to be blue. It used to be blue and it used to be rusty. So yeah, thanks to Chris, our man, for sorting it out, and thanks to Yannicka for doing upholstery. Awesome. Just like, that's what we're doing in a minute. We're just kind of trading in inferior product for better product, one by one. So the gym's slowly like transitioning into an even better gym because I'm getting rid of stuff, and Jordan's getting rid of stuff that we think is not up to par with some of the new bits that we've got, basically. Right now we've got a couple of bits being refurbed by Tom at Nitram, including some Cybex pieces and stuff. So this back area is going to have a few more extra pieces. So the plan really is I'm going to move all the shoulders and stuff down into the cardio area and then extend the back area. Like I say, we've got the Cybex Eagle Row, Cybex High Pull Down, and then maybe some other bits as well. My knee's been funny for the last couple of days. It's just felt a bit like aggravated. And I think it's just because I was away in America and missed this week's physio, because I get physio every Wednesday. So if you have a problem, definitely keep on top of it. Missing physio sessions is a problem. I think physio is really underrated. That's that tissue work, just keeping everything nice and loose on top of the bone. I think it's really important. I would definitely recommend, if it's in budget, getting it done once a week, once every fortnight minimum. If you can only do it once every fortnight, try to pay your guy or girl to do a bit of upper and lower. If you can do it every week, maybe rotate between upper and lower. Nice. This is a tune. I don't care what anyone says. This album was good. You know the song Break the Ice? Do you remember that one, Liam? It's the one that Timbaland produced, and it's got an anime video, yeah? If you don't know it, check it out.
I've seen the video.
So good. That's my favourite song on this album. Britney Spears fan. Lights down.
Stealing the car on GTA.
Yeah, man.
You get in a car and it's on the radio. Like,
What one was this on, GTA 5?
yeah. You get in and it's always...
It's mad because I didn't really play GTA 5. I played No, it's weird. I think I was just touring my bodybuilding at the time. But obviously I rinsed GTA 3, Vice City and San Andreas. I didn't even play GTA 4, I don't think. I seen it on sale in CX. I nearly bought it the other day because I got the PS2 now as well. I started playing old games. Yeah, I got the slim one.
Silver.
No, I got the black. They had silver.
Silver one.
They had the silver, but I was like, nah, I'm not doing silver.
Because at the time I didn't realise that Max Payne was a port on
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it's so shit compared to the PC version.
Yeah. Was the PC one a lot better then? Because I played Max Payne originally on PC, the first one. My friend had it. But they're doing a remaster of Max Payne.
Yeah. Same studio as well.
Same studio. Who is it? What do you call them? Oh, fuck. It's the ones that did Alan Wake, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't play Alan Wake 2, but I watched the playthrough and it looks fucking good.
I hope it's still got the same face.
What? Yeah, it will be, because it's that Sam, what's his name? Because he's actually a part of the studio, isn't he? Yeah. He's actually in Alan Wake 2 as a cop.
Really?
Yeah.
Same guy?
Yeah. It's cool, man.
But
We were just saying how good this song is.
this?
Yeah, me and him. I love the song. And I was saying the other song now, Break the Ice.
Yeah.
I thought it was sick. Like, this is because I like the kind of beats she had at the time, because it was like Timbo beats.
Yeah.
Timbo was sick.
Kerry Hilson.
Kerry Hilson had Timbo beats as well, yeah. She was good looking as well. Don't tell Yannicka. No, tell Yannicka, it's fine. I'm a little bit heavier. It's annoying. If my leg was fine, I'd be doing like that much on this. My right leg could push fucking 20 plates on this. Feel it straight away. It's that left knees, it's like, I know that when my leg's fine, on a leg press, there's very few people that would challenge my leg press. You lucky bastards. I just need a little wee before I do it, lad. A little wee.
A few inches later.
Gasp. There's not really many pointers on a leg press, is there, versus other movements. Again, the only thing I can really say is tempo, I think, is quite important on a leg press, but then I think tempo is pretty important on every exercise. I just like tempo to be very steady. Again, it's not because it has to be. Everyone's different. I think I have a very steady tempo because I don't want to get injured. Not saying it is the way to avoid injury fully, but I don't know, with control comes a sense of safety. Explosive training for me, it's fun here and there, but most of the time when I train, it's always at this kind of tempo. So this kind of workout is no different to what I normally do in regards to the speed of the training. Again, I highlight that just because, again, it's just a little something to give you that might be helpful. Regarding that knee protection stuff, try to not use them much. You want to get strong, obviously you want your muscle and connective tissue to be strong. That's why I'll only ever use it if I'm going excessively heavy, like unsafely heavy, which hasn't happened a lot lately because obviously because of the knee. But these are the neoprene sleeves. These are quite loose, they're not very tight. These are more just to keep the joint feeling warm throughout the motion. Obviously if I was going heavy on a squat or something, then I would opt for a wrap. And the reason I opt for a wrap, and I explain this, is that if you look at how a sleeve fits, if your calves and your quads are quite big, then you get some loose space here, which doesn't feel as secure as if you have a strap that you can obviously tighten to your own customized amount. That's why people used to be like, oh James, why do you use straps? That's why, literally so that I can get enough support around the knee versus the sleeve. Again, for a movement like this, these are okay, but if I was squatting or something, I'd definitely be using a wrap. Cool. One more round. That's nice. Take that. Do some seated calf raise on the new one, and then we'll. And then I'm going to try and attempt to bring that Rogers move pressing. I'm just thinking about how am I going to get around. Really, I should come in there. I might not be able to fit it in. Just fingers crossed it works. I haven't tried it yet.
So what's different from how it was before?
So we had basically like a Chinese version that had a different setup here. Just didn't, it was a bit of a pain in the arse. This just sits nice, it catches. It's just really nice. Love it. Just much easier and efficient, quicker. You get in here and you just set your height and it's ready to go. It's not like you have to mess around with this bit. That's why I like the old hammer stuff, because it's just basic, man. It's just like, not over-engineered. Self-explanatory, really. You look at any of their old stuff, like the hip press or the chest press, it's just the right metal with the right leverages. And sometimes that's all you need. Majority of the time, that's all you need. So the only exercise that I approach a little bit differently in terms of sets is calves. Today I've done 3 sets. So why? Just because it's only one exercise that's being dedicated to that body part on any given day. So 3 rounds, you still find that the reps drop off just from fatigue alone, so it's definitely enough work. That's basically the best indicator to knowing whether you've done enough on a body part, is if the strength starts to dip heavily. So I will get to a certain amount of reps on this and have to yank up with the handle for sure. Last round. Oh, that was a proper yank. If I didn't have my hand on there, that wouldn't have gone up. That's what she said. Another new piece. Rogers pendulum. Rogers squat. Oh, that's us done. That was hamstrings, and like I said today, the purpose of the video really is to kind of highlight the exercises that I think are, in my opinion, like most credible and worth doing. Obviously you saw in there was 2 variations of curl, but they were different variations, so not repeating ourselves. We had the lying curl, and then we had the seated curl, and then we did our hip hinge with the RDL, but we also used the band to just get a little bit more of awareness of the glutes as well. And then we moved to our adductor work, following by a kind of high stance leg press. So what's that, 5 exercises? So I suppose that's the top 5 exercises for mighty big hamstrings. Obviously we tagged some calves on the end there, just 3 sets of the seated hammer strength calf raise. A few days time, I'll train quads, and there'll be some glute work in there. So it'll be like extension, hack squat, leg press with a lower stance than today. And then some glute bridge and maybe like a abductor. So that's the 2 leg workouts in the week. They're split normally. If I'm pressed for time, or if I'm traveling and stuff like that, then I might train legs all in one day if I have to have more days off. That's what I did when I was obviously with the boys on the previous video. So if you haven't checked that out, do check it out, and you can see what a whole leg day would look like. So then you have those 2 options and variations. If you wish to apply your training, you can. I like splitting them. Just means that this day has a lot more emphasis on the hamstrings, that I don't have to feel like they're a tag on at the end or rushed. And I like that for quads as well. It feels very beneficial. So yeah, that's us done today. I've got a little bit more work to do while I'm here. Hopefully try and get this into place. Yet again, another new machine, always upgrading. It could prove difficult because there's a lot of machines in the gym that I need to move. So it may be and it may not. But for now, guys, we'll see you on the next video. We haven't decided what we're doing on the next one. So if you want to get in the comments below and ask for something in particular, now's your time, because you can also then determine what the next content looks like. So yeah, we'll catch up on the next one. Peace and love. See you soon.